Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. Please, if you are new here, kindly take a few moments and click on the subscribe button, and please click on the notification bell icon. Thank you. Today I'm going to show you how to make this yummy and delicious sardine bread. I'm just simply going to add some vegetable oil on my saucepan, and to that I'm going to add some onion and pepper, and I'm going to fry it until it's golden brown. Please don't let it burn. You're just going to keep stirring it until you get the right texture for what you want. Okay, meanwhile on the other side I've already prepared my sardine. Right, you can use your canned sardine for this, or you can use your fresh sardine. The choice is absolutely yours, but for this video I'm using the canned sardine. I'm just going to break it into some tiny little pieces and pour it into the onion and pepper mixture. Then I'm going to stir this up until it's golden brown. You can go ahead and season this to the taste. Add some salt, some seasoning. But the nice thing is the can is tasty, so you're just going to go in with the seasoning. But if you're using a fresh sardine, go ahead and season it properly to your taste. So I just went ahead and added some salt, added some seasoning to it. Let this stir until everything is okay. So at this stage now, my sardine mixture is good as almost ready. I'm simply going to go ahead and stir it for a more, and then bring it down to the top of the fire and allow it to cook properly. Meanwhile, let's go straight to the preparation of our bread, which is pretty much very interesting. So please watch this video. So in a clean bowl, I added 500 grams of purple flour, and to that I break in 2 eggs. Alright, so to this mixture I used 4 teaspoons of active dry yeast powder. I'm simply going to add that right here. So I added 4 teaspoons of active dry yeast powder, and then I added 1 teaspoon of salt. Right. So please, when you're mixing your bread, it's important that you use lukewarm milk or lukewarm water. For this recipe, I'll be using 240 ml lukewarm milk, which I'm going to pour into all of this so that everything can be well combined. But before then, I'm simply going to stir this up all together so that I can, mix this comfortably before I add in my milk. Okay, so I'm using my wooden spatula as it will enable me to mix this properly. I'm simply going to stir this all up until I add my liquid milk to this. Yeah. So now I'm ready to add in 3 tablespoons of sugar, granulated sugar, of course. Okay, so having added my sugar, then I can go ahead now and add in my milk. Okay, so I'm going to add a teaspoon of salt first, like I rightly said, before I go ahead. Please be careful of lumps so you don't have a side of your bread tasting very salty. So then I added 240 ml lukewarm milk to this, and then I began to combine this. I mixed it properly until I got a very soft dough. Mind you, at this stage the dough is going to be soft, but not as soft as when you have added your butter. So much later I added about 2 tablespoons of butter to this, and once you add your butter, trust me, the dough is going to be pretty much very soft. It's going to be difficult to mix, but once you consistently continue to mix this, it's going to get to a point it's going to be less sticky. You can go ahead and first start by mixing it with your spatula. This helps you to make the bread dough well combined before you transfer it to your workbench. Right, so once you transfer this to a workbench, or if you are using a mixer, that is a stand mixer, you can go ahead and move this to your stand mixer. But for this case, I'm using my hands, so I'm going to mix this slightly with my spatula. Then I'm going to move it over to my workbench. Then I start to knead. You keep on kneading it until you get a very smooth and stretchy dough. Mind you, when your bread dough is not very smooth, it's not yet okay. Your bread dough has to be very smooth and it has to be very stretchy, and that is when you know that it is time for you to prove it. So now let's start with the mixing. of this bread dough. I'm slightly going to start gently. At first you notice that it is very sticky, pretty much very sticky, but I'm going to go ahead and keep mixing until I get the right consistency of the dough I want. But it's still sticky a little, so I'm going to take a little flour and then I'll sprinkle it on my work surface. This is to prevent it from further sticking to the work surface. So I'm just going to go ahead and mix it into the flour a little. Please mind you, you have to be careful of the quantity of flour that you add to your bread dough, because the more the flour, the harder the bread. So I'm just going to mix this gently, and then I'm going to start by cutting this already well mixed dough into different portions. I weighed this 100 gram each, and I got about 10 doughs, right? So for each dough now, we are going to flatten them and then fill it in with our sardine sauce, right? Follow me carefully and see how I'm going to prepare the sardine dough. So you're simply going to flatten the dough in your thumbs a little, but make sure that on the other side the dough is very smooth, right? And then you're going to fill in your sardine sauce, and then you're going to form this into a ball. You're going to cover it all up and ensure that the sardine inside is not showing. So I'm going to go ahead and keep folding this in until I can no longer see my sardine filling. So I'm going to twist the tips at which they are joined together and ensure that it is fully covered, right? So you keep on twisting, and the excess which is not smooth, you're just going to have to cut it off so that you can get a very smooth and flat ball. But at this stage, mind you, that you should have prepared your pan where you're going to be placing in your bread. You should have greased it properly and then dusted it with flour. But if you're using a parchment paper, all you need to do is just to flatten out your parchment paper and cut it to the size of your pan. And at this stage, any of the balls that you're done with, you place it right on your pan, just like as I'm doing. Now, if you didn't get the first one properly on how I did the ball and the sardine filling, watch this again and let me show you how I'm going to do it for the second time. Now we're going to take another bowl and make sure the back surface of the dough is very smooth, like this. So once it's smooth, you flatten the inner part with your thumbs and then fill in your sardine filling inside the bread dough. And then you're going to mold this up together until you can no longer see the sardine filling, right? Please guys, kindly take a moment and click on the subscribe button, and please kindly like and comment in this video. Thank you. So I'm going to smoothen this up until I get a very smooth ball, just like I did initially. Then you keep pinching at the edge which is not smooth. You pinch at it until you get out the excess dough. Then you take it off and then you place it in your pan. You're going to continue repeating this process until we have exhausted the entire 10 bread doughs. Okay, each gram is 100 gram each. You can decide to go for 50 gram, depends on how you want the size of your bread to be. But for this recipe, I cut my balls into 100 grams each. So now for the third one, I'm simply going to go ahead and then I repeated the same process. Pretty much very easy and very simple. Trust me, when you make this bread for your family, they're going to give you a special thank you. Why don't you try it this weekend and give me a feedback in the comment section on how it went for you. So make sure that at interval you just dab your hand a little on the floor. This will help to prevent the dough from sticking to your palms. So just keep your floor very close. Right, so I'm going to repeat the same process for the third one, and what I'm going to do now is to fast forward this behind the camera and then finish up on the remaining 7 doughs. Right, so let me show you what it looks like placing the first initial 3 doughs on the pan. Can you see that? Pretty much very clean. So I'm going to do the remaining one and then I'm going to show you what it looks like at the end of the day. So now let me start by showing you what it looks like. So I'm pretty much done with the rest of the dough. You can see that I had one extra big one that's a bit more than 100 grams because some of the excesses I trimmed off from the other ones. So guys, let's cover this for about 40 minutes. Let's cover this and allow it to double in size. And now you're going to see what it looks like once it has doubled in size. Now you can see that our bread doughs have grown fully big in size. Now let's just egg wash this a little. You're just going to simply break in one egg, and then you're going to egg wash this, and it's ready for baking in an already preheated oven. This should take about 20 to 25 minutes. It's not going to take long, right? And this came out very yummy, very delicious, and super tasty, right? So this was the outcome of my sardine bread. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you for watching this video to the end. Please do like, comment, and share. And until next time, I'm Mama Rukayat. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and do have you a lovely day. Bye.